Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Dreams Business Cloud. Uh, and this training here is going to be specifically to understand A2P and what you need to do to set up to get it functioning and what it all means. Okay, so there's really two elements to communications within Go High Level or Dreams Business Cloud. One is A2P, and A2P means automation to person, right? And then there's the tail side of the coin, which is the dialing out, right? The automation when it comes to making phone calls. They're totally different, two totally different things, and they work within the system. So you have to set it up properly before you can register for everything to be copacetic. Okay, there's lots of laws and regulations with anti-spam and all this kind of stuff, right? We all get spam calls on our cell phones and text messages all the time, right? So we don't want to be labeled a spammer, okay? Because if that happens, then nothing's going to get through, right? You're just going to get blocked and banned, and the more it happens, eventually nothing is going to get through. Excuse me, and we don't want that to happen. Excuse me. So the first thing we want to do is set it up, okay? You have to set it up, and then what the system does, it's all computed, it's all done automation. They've got robots that comb over the information to make sure that it's accurate. So it must be completely accurate. Okay, so when I say literal, I mean literal. If you have a word or something misspelled, that'll knock you out because what they're looking for is your registration with the government agency compared to your website. And if there's any discrepancy, boom, it's not going to happen, right? And it's just going to delay the process and become frustrating. So the first thing you want to do is set up your business profile. Okay, your business profile. This is the demo account. Okay, so you're going to want to put here your business logo. So if you have a business name, if you have a ABC LLC, whatever that is, and you have a logo for that business entity, you're going to put that logo here. Okay, because the registration is going to be of that, of that organization. So what you're not going to do, you're not going to put, myllc.com and then have the Dreams Resources logo here because you're promoting dream stuff, right? That right there is going to get you knocked out, and you won't understand why it's not working every time you do it, and it could just drain your brain. Okay, so the logo must be exactly as your business is if you have a logo, right? So it's going to be your business friendly name. It doesn't make a difference. This one here, okay, this is your compliant name underneath there that they're going to be looking at. That's the compliant name. So if it's ABC LLC, it better be ABC LLC here, okay? And then your business email address and your business phone, your domain name, your website, and the niche that you're in. Okay, so let's talk about this here. If you have not got your own domain name yet, go get it. You need it. You need it. You might as well just leave the off switch on. You have to have it. It's a necessary thing you need to have. If you haven't done it, go to GoDaddy, figure out a good business name for yourself. This is what you do. If you're a sole proprietor, independent contractor, and you're going to get paid on your 1099, this is what you do. Okay, you go to GoDaddy and you brainstorm names for your domain. Okay, once you get your domain, whatever it's going to be, right? And don't be something, try and get a general domain that is going to really encompass what Dreams does and what it is. Because if you have something that's specific to one thing, it's not going to work. Okay, I'll give you an example. John Smith, R&D, research and development, tax consulting, right? That doesn't work for anything other than that, right? So do not be specific, be general, okay? Be general, as general as you can, but something that's not too long. And the reason why not too long is because you're going to create an email address with that domain, right? So you don't want it to be like this huge ABC Corp, but whatever, something small. This way the email address isn't 9 miles long, right? Something that's relatively short and sweet, but generic, that it fits to anything within the Dreams platform, okay? Or anything in the business community, if, consulting, whatever you want to do, okay? Now you have that, and then you're going to pull that domain name in here, but we're not going to talk about that because we're talking about A2P, right? So now you've got your domain. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the IRS website and you're going to get an EIN number. Okay, this is if you haven't done it. If you already have an EIN number for your LLC, you're good. But if if you're starting from scratch, go over to the IRS website and you're going to apply for an EIN number. Okay, there will be a link in the description of this video if you're watching via recording or in some of the other videos on this channel here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is how you do it. Your name is going to go on there, and then you can put a business name on it. Guess what business name you're going to put on that EIN number? That's going to be the business name of the domain that you just created, whatever that domain you just created. So it's going to be John Smith, my domain name, but not the .com or the .info, whatever the root name of the entity, right? John Smith Consulting, whatever, right? John Smith Consulting, John Smith, right? So that's what you're going to do there. Then now you're done. So now you've got your domain, you've got your website. That's going to go here. The website that you just purchased is going to go here. Okay, even if you haven't hooked it in yet, like you haven't pulled it in yet on the domain side, you're going to put that there. Your email is going to be your first name at that domain, whatever it is, johnsmithconsulting.com. Choose your niche, choose your country, business type. It's all from the drop down. So if you are an LLC or a sole proprietor, it's the same selection. Okay, you're going to do that. My business is not registered. If it's not, what that means is a registered business is an LLC, an S corp, a C corp. Right? That's what they consider a registered business, right? If it is if it's an LLC, you'll uncheck that and you'll go through the registration. If it's just you working under that EIN number, okay, then you're going to just use that. Okay, so let's do the EIN number. Once you have that, from that moment forward, every time you submit, a W-4, which is your tax form for anything in the realm of commissions, you are no longer going to use your Social Security number. You're going to use that EIN number. Your Social Security now is protected and dormant. You're going to use that EIN number. Okay? Just make sure you guys meet yourself upon coming in. That would be great. So that's that. You're going to check this one here. Make your emails compliant. You unsubscribe. Make sure that's there. You're going to put your business. This address here, okay, is going to be the address that's on your EIN. Okay, the address that's on your EIN. That is what they're looking for, consistency across the registration platform. So the robots are going to go in here and they're going to crawl in there and they're going to go, business address is wrong here. This and this don't jive. Boom, rejected. So you're going to that EIN, you're going to look at that document. You're going to use all the information that's on that document. So that's the address you're going to put here. Whatever the time zone is, done. Okay. Next is going to be your personal profile. It's not on this one because it's a demo. So I'm going to go into mine. It's super easy. It's like just a couple of things. Your picture as an individual, because this is your personal, right? The website that domain you just purchased, your first name at that, okay, your phone number. This is your calendar link that you're going to put here. Whatever one, we're going to do calendars next, so don't panic about calendars. That's the next topic here. And then you're going to create a subject line, just like I did here, with your with the information to your website, right? Just like this. You're going to hit update, and every time you send an email through the system, which is conversations, or individually, this subject line is going to come up prior to, just like if you have the subject line set up in your Gmail, this subject line is going to pull up unless you go into and you use a snippet, which is an automated canned correspondence that either you created or that we created for you within the platform. Okay, if you use that, this will disappear, and whatever that snippet says or does is going to be what goes out. Okay, so next thing you're going to do here as we move down is you're going to want to link a core calendar. Think of it as the root calendar, right? And from that root calendar, all other branches are going to come off that calendar and they're going to communicate with that root calendar. So that root calendar is going to push availability information out to all the calendars that you'll create within Go High Level or Dreams Business Cloud. I have my Gmail calendar, right, as my root calendar. So you're going to link your calendar, your Gmail calendar, and you can link your Gmail here, put your time zone in. Now down here, you can put um, availability times for your calendar, which will be overridden if you do individual. This is kind of just um, a bookmark place to start, where you'll be able or willing to accept appointments. Okay, if you don't want Saturday, you just unselect it. Then you save all that information. So what have we accomplished to this point? One, we've got our domain name purchased at GoDaddy, right? So we know what that is. Two, we have our EIN number uh, from the government, from the IRS.gov, that says whatever your legal name is, okay, which is the name that's on your tax return. So for me, it's Anthony Gumbali, right? That's the name here. But my legal name is not Anthony, right? That's not what I file. My legal name is Antonio Gumbali Jr. So that's what has to be on that EIN number when you file for it. Okay. So we have that. Now we're ready to begin the process of putting our ducks in a row and getting things ready. So what's the next step? The next step is to be in the settings, okay, because there's two elements to calendars. There is the settings calendar, which is where you create a calendar or you edit a calendar. And then when you're out of settings, there's the calendar like you would see if you go into Gmail, where it has all your events, right, as a week or as a month. What we want to do here is we want to create a new calendar. So you're going to click calendars, okay, and you're going to add a new calendar. But we've done it, okay. So we want a 15-minute calendar for this will be for your A2P um, registration. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're saying to go high level in the robots, I'm a legitimate person. I exist, right? I have a business. I have an EIN number. I have an address. I have a phone number. I am legit. Okay. I also have a website for my clients or prospects to land on. And on that website, there's going to be disclosure that they are going to opt in to receive communications from me. Okay. So for that, we need to have a calendar. She'll create a new calendar. I'm just going to hit edit. It'll look just like this. If you want a logo, you can put a logo in here. Okay, I don't have a logo in this one. You're going to name the calendar. Okay, whatever the calendar is going to be. Always put the duration of time in that calendar. Okay, and a description of what this calendar represents. Okay. If it's going to be a consulting, just a 15-minute discovery call or whatever, just put, if you're not sure what to put into it, it's very simple. Go into ChatGPT and say, I want to create a calendar for Go High Level, because they'll know what Gold High Level is. And it's going to be for a 15-minute appointment, and it's for this topic, and this is what I'm trying to accomplish. And it'll just in literally 2 seconds or less, it'll pull it'll pull the description. So give me a description for that calendar. It'll give you a description, you copy it, you paste it, you put it in there, right? And then you create on the bottom here is the website address. Okay, now sometimes uh, it will say that that's not available. They call it a slug. So you just change the language a little bit. You put a dash or something in between. So we've got dreams dash score dash 15 dash minute, right? Because everything else was already taken, right? So you could just call you could even make it an initial DS dash whatever, but always have the time in the URL and minute. 15 MIN, however, MUT, whatever. It doesn't make a difference. Just so people understand, just by looking at it, it's a 15-minute booking. Okay. And then you're going to put the contact's name here. Don't worry about the group. You can choose a color if you want to color code that particular calendar that comes into your Gmail. Like I said, everything's in my Gmail calendar, and each color I have is a different topic. So at a glance, I know that blue is this, purple is this, yellow is that, red is that. So do something similar to, have a color code so you know what they are at a glance, because you might forget eventually what these appointments are, especially if they're coming in automatically. And by looking at the color, you'll know what it is, and you won't be surprised when you go in there. So that's your basic. Now we go down to staff. You're going to put, see, it says demo agent because this is demo agent's account. You're going to put your name here, right? Meeting location. Now, how do you want to meet with this person? Okay. Do I want this to be a phone call, just a phone call, initial meeting? Do I want it to be Zoom or something along that line? You can go in here and you can make that selection. If you want to do Zoom, you could suck Zoom. You could pull Zoom in here into integrations, and it'll do Zoom, Google Meet, or phone. Okay. For now, just leave it at phone. Okay. Then we go down to availability. Okay. Remember, we went into the availability um, on the My Profile page. You can go in here and change it for this specific calendar if you want. You click on that, you hit edit, and you can edit the schedule. Then you go in there and say from this time to that time for this particular calendar. You hit save, and your calendar is now done. Booking now booking rules here. It's 15-minute intervals between meetings. 15-minute is if guys just mute yourself if you can, please. I appreciate that. I'll try to mute who I can. 15-minute duration, 30-minute interval, and you're good to go. So that's done. Advanced settings, time, date. Now, right here is where you can put that consent information here. Okay, it's going to be on the form itself. You'll see in a moment here. I confirm I want to receive. Now, when it says company, you are the company. Okay, so I confirm that I want to receive contact information from John Smith Consulting, whatever your registration is going to be, for updates about whatever you want to put this, whatever you want to put it to. You don't worry about payments. Notifications, select, I want to be upon information, when someone makes an appointment, I want to receive an email or whatever that someone made an appointment other than just it popping up on my calendar. So if you want that, you select email, in-app, whatever you want to select. Okay, so now that is done. Your calendar is done.